I saw this picture of Blessing CEO and her husband to be, and immediately I saw that picture, I saw a reflection of masquerade, and the Spirit of God made me to understand psychologically, every area, the way you think is different. Heal yourself, let your mind be healed, and only by the Spirit of God will there be a renewal of your mind as a person for you to connect with the right people, because the kind of way you think can even lead you to the wrong people, and you will connect to the wrong people. You will think that you are doing what is right for you, you are enjoying your life, but the truth is it will continue to fail and have effect in your life. The more you will become broken, because that is the way the devil wants to put you. It is time for you as a person, if you are divorced and you are planning on getting married, or you want to have marriage, it is time for you as a person to build yourself in God. Let there be a renewal of mind, so that what happened in your past will not repeat again. God bless you. I am Prophet Helen, and this is Helen Thomas Ministries.
So after I watched this video recently, and honestly, I had to pause, breathe, rewind, because what I heard didn't just shock me, it disappointed me. Here we have a prophetess standing boldly on camera, calling out Blessing CEO, telling her that she shouldn't be thinking about marriage because she's divorced, saying she needs a deeper relationship with God first, and warning that if she doesn't, she will end up marrying 7 times. 7 times? God, let's talk about it. First of all, can we stop acting like divorce is a spiritual stain, like it's a scarlet letter that makes someone permanently unworthy of love? People divorce for so many reasons. One, for abuse, betrayal, trauma, or for their personal growth. And just because someone's marriage ended doesn't mean the person failed. Blessing CEO is a woman who has been through her own battles. She's been honest about her journey, her growth, her healing, and now she's ready to love again. So why is that such a crime? Let's flip the script for a second. If it were a man, a popular, successful man who divorced and then decided to remarry, would we see the same level of outrage? Would there be a prophet saying, brother, don't marry again, or you will end up with wife number 7? Exactly. Everywhere will be silent. But when it's a woman, a strong vocal woman who speaks her truth unapologetically, suddenly she becomes a target for spiritual judgment. No, now let's be real. This isn't prophecy, it's patriarchy, a religious disguise. And this idea that someone needs to build a relationship with God before marriage, yeah, that's short truth. Spiritual growth is important, we are not denying that, but who says Blessing CEO doesn't already have one? Because she doesn't act like a church mother, or because she's bold, confident, and speaks her mind? We need to stop assuming that quiet equals to holiness and loud equals to lust. That's a dangerous mindset. And honestly, what happened to grace? What happened to praying for people instead of preaching against them? Blessing CEO, like so many women, has the right to love again, to hope again, to dream again. And if a new marriage brings her peace and purpose, then who are we to predict fate? While giving all these prophecies, let's also remember that healing is not linear. Everyone's journey is different, and God doesn't disqualify people just because they made a few mistakes or took few detours. You know what really needs to be called out for? The spiritual bullying happening in the name of warnings, the public shaming that is done in the name of God told me this, God told me that, because half the time it's not God speaking, it's human bias marks as revelation. So let's set the record straight. Blessing CEO doesn't need anyone's permission to move forward, not from the society, not from online preachers, not even from the prophetess on TikTok. What she needs and what she deserves is support, respect, and a space to write her own story. She can't live under someone else's version of her life. And if she does marry again, whether it works or not, that's her lesson, her growth, her path, not yours and not mine. So before you throw stones, remember everyone's journey looks different, and sometimes the people we think are far from God are actually walking more closer than we realize. So let's stop judging so loud and start loving a little more, because the real enemy is not the woman with a past, it's the world that keeps trying to silence our future. You guys know that Blessing CEO is an outspoken person, and she's not going to keep quiet about this. I'm going to allow you guys to watch Blessing CEO reply to this prophetess. This girl called Blessing CEO, though people view her in the controversial side because she is a critic, but then she's full of wisdom. Let's listen what to the reply she gave to prophetess Helen.
Prophetess Helen, thank you so much for the prophecy. I really do appreciate. But, prophetess, if God really sent you a message, I'm a public figure. You can as well send me a direct message. There's also an email on my biography, and there is also a contact number on my biography. The God that I know is not a God who sends people to take microphone, wear makeup, source for my picture, put a sound in your background and write your name. My God does not send such prophetess to me. You are just a content creator, ma. Your message, well received. But I want to tell you that I have prominent, spiritual, powerful, spiritual fathers that pray for me, that back me up. So you have nothing to worry about. Just because I don't come with Bible and be doing sha, 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 doesn't mean I do not know my spiritual ground. My daddy in the Lord is praying for me. And this, my union, is blessed by God. No matter what you see, it is okay for you to assume as a content creator, because it is what I show you that is the only thing you know about my relationship and my marriage. Next time, please say congratulations before you start your prophecy. But I just want to tell you that I am spiritually grounded, right? And by the special grace of God, I am not going to marry 7 husbands. I will not marry 7 husbands, right? It took me close to 15 years after divorce to decide to want to try marriage again. It goes as far as telling you that I'm a reserved woman. Just because I was divorced doesn't mean you should set your camera and start to see things that you do not know. First of all, I divorced my ex-husband due to domestic violence and abuse, and the fact that the marriage was not working. It was not a spiritual problem. It was an obvious problem of a man that did not want to change his pattern, right? I gave my ex a lot of time to change, but he refused to change, so I walked away. So oftentimes things are not just from the spiritual angle. When you see that relationships are not working, just because I walked away or I'm divorced doesn't make me a bad person. or doesn't start to ignite fear into people, saying, oh, Blessing, if you're not careful, you're going to marry up to 7 husbands. Trust me, I'm a hard nut to crack. I'm not one woman that go about looking for who to marry me. Before I come out to say I want to get married, you should know that I have done my assignment. And Prophetess Helen, if you have watched me from afar, you would understand that I'm a very, very depth woman. I'm not a shallow woman. I'm a woman who is intellectually sound, and I'm a woman that knows what she wants. So prophecies like this is just igniting unnecessary fear, and I'm not a woman of fear. Next time, if the Lord leads you to speak to anybody, speak to them privately. Our God is not a content creator. And when God truly wants to speak to you through somebody, the person will come to you. God will either lead you to that person's path to, that prophecy. God is not a content creator that you will carry your microphone and put sound to your content, put your name and put my picture. The same way you went to look for my picture to put in that content and edit it, the same way you would have slipped into my DM, and I would have valued your prophecy more than using me to create unnecessary content. Anyways, thank you so much. I'm still going to reach out to my spiritual fathers, and I'm also going to put it in prayer. Yeah. My name is Blessing. No shaking. Don't be afraid for me, right? And the honest truth is, spirituality has so much to do in marriage, but emotions and common sense also work. If marriage is not working, you feel like you're exhausted, it's okay to walk away. Don't let people hold you down because of spirituality so that you don't lose your life. You should know when a man or a woman is willing to change their patterns, when they are willing to sacrifice, when they are willing to be intentional. Just because a man refuses to be intentional about you, is maltreating you, and you leave the marriage, it doesn't mean you have spiritual problem. It simply means you're a woman or a man that know what you want. Even in spirituality, you must have foresight. Spirituality, it is not stupidity. That, because somebody is saying one thing, or you would think that because somebody is giving prophecy and negative comments, that if something I will not know. So when you're putting this your spirituality, please also tutor the people, the young people around you, to understand that marriage is not a do or die affair. You understand my point? If Blessing leaves marriage today, we pray it doesn't happen. It is not spirituality. Maybe along the line it didn't work. Maybe along the line we misunderstood, or maybe along the line we got tired. But every breakup, divorce in relationship or marriage is not always spiritual. Most times it's just the other person not willing to be intentional, the other person not willing to put in effort, and the other person just stopped trying. Let's stop using the name of Christ in vain, dear prophetess Helen. And thank you so much for the prophecy. I'll put it in prayers. You're also invited to the wedding. I will send you a special invitation so that you can see better prophecy. None of you ever see good prophecy.